My name's Annelle, and I came to Natural Fit Therapy, continuing therapy on problems I had been having with knee pain and for arthritis, and also back and hip pain as well. So the knee is the most acute issue that was keeping me, and it actually even had me afraid to go for walks. Even on my Fit Tracker, I was seeing, oh, this time last year you were doing 2 miles. This time before I started therapy with y'all, I was doing half a mile. Like, this is not a good direction to be going. So the previous clinic that I went to, I think is rather the normal situation that I hear other friends talk about. In other words, there's a big room with tables for manual therapy, as well as equipment, exercise equipment. And in this particular clinic, there were up to 3 different therapists all in the same room, and each one at the same time would have from 1 to 3 different clients going at the same time. So what I found would happen is that I would go in and there would be an assistant, who was very attentive and, had, training, but would get me started with, a simple exercise, maybe warm up at first. And then the main therapist who was assigned my case would come around and chat a bit and then direct me toward a new exercise perhaps, and that kind of thing. I think I said at one time, I don't want to be doing these old lady exercises. I'd rather be doing what she's doing, with some, real squats and stuff like that, and I didn't understand why I wasn't being challenged. To have like a dedicated person for, the whole session, and the dedicated room for me for the whole session, that's priceless, really. I mean, that is so good. As we've, strengthened the knee and decreased the swelling with manipulation and the isometric stretches, I haven't really had knee pain walking. I've gotten my bike out and, able to ride my mountain bike around the neighborhood. So, and just to know that I can. So your question about confidence is really everything. Just to not be afraid to, start filling my old shoes again. There I felt like I was a flunky. And with you guys, it's like, built for, wanting me to succeed. So I would encourage people, ask for what you need, and go for it. Yes, I would recommend it. And if I knew of a friend that was getting physical therapy, or had been prescribed physical therapy, and I'll say, you might want to consider not, going through the frustrations that I had, and go to, y'all who have like the dedicated therapist, and the dedicated room, and it, I feel improvement that I was never going to feel with the other folks.